and welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as The Beast, and this is going to be an entry support type video for Jake over at Jake's Metal Chat. Jake has recently surpassed 800 subscribers, so he's doing a bit of a giveaway type thing. 7 questions written down here, so hopefully I'll get them right. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet Jake up in Glasgow this year at the Dead of Winter Festival, and really nice guy, nice to chat to, pleasant, and knows his stuff about music. So, congratulations Jake on surpassing 800 subscribers. Hopefully I'll catch you one day, maybe not, but you know, maybe. So, he's asked 7 questions. I've got them written down here, and here we go. So, name the first album you ever bought. Well, if anybody's followed my channel for any length of time, you know it's this one. Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. The first record I ever actually bought was the 7-inch Run to the Hills, and once I heard that, that was it. My journey into metal began and has never really stopped. So this has had a lot of hammer, and it's just an absolute classic. I actually obviously went sort of backwards, having heard this I then discovered Killers and Iron Maiden, and yeah, it's just one of them albums that even non-metalheads, if you say to them, do you know Iron Maiden? Oh yeah, Number of the Beast thing. So yeah, so that's the first album I ever bought with my own pennies as a spotty 14-year-old Grebo. So, question 2. What's an album or albums you love that more people should know about? Now again, I have shown these albums before, but they're just 2 of my favourite albums of all time. Absolute amazing records. First up is Funeral Fuck and their full-length Carnal Confessions. This is probably my favourite doom metal, slightly deathy at times, release ever. This was introduced to me by the death doom metalhead Liam himself, and the way he spoke about it, it got me intrigued. It took me a long time to actually track a copy of it down. But yeah, this is just an absolutely wonderful album. We get a little booklet inside with the lyrics and such like. The lyrical content is quite disturbing. If you're not aware of Funeral Fuck, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, it's a little bit, it's sort of anti-religious, but not in a satanic type of way. They're probably worse than anything Satan could ever come up with. So yeah, so the first one is Funeral Fuck and Carnal Confessions. The second one, again, it gets spun countless times, is the band Frail and their album 1692. Now obviously 1692 is the start of the Salem witch trials. This is female fronted, this is doom metal, this is just atmospheric, it's full of riffs, it's just, the vocals are absolutely haunting. I believe they've got a new album coming out in, I think it's October of this year. But yeah, they're just one of those bands that I think I saw it as a suggestion possibly of a single maybe, or I don't remember anybody ever showing it on the channel prior to me buying it, but yeah, there's just something about her voice. She's got a very haunting melodic voice that's also quite mesmeric, I suppose you would say. So yeah, so that's just a couple of my favourites, rather, you know, spent ages and ages and ages. So, question 3. Is there any gigs or festivals you'd like to go to this year and next year, or are you planning to go to? There's quite a few I'd like to go to, but that would involve buying a passport, so we'll take them out. We've got a few lined up. We have Testament and Obituary in October, down in Manchester. We have Lacuna Coil for myself and Mrs Beast up in Newcastle in November. The reason Lacuna Coil are so... they're a band I really like anyway, but we always go and see them live because that was the first gig myself, Mrs Beast and our son went to, like, as a family. So they've got a bit of a special place there. In January next year we have Cryptopsy in Manchester, and the very following evening we have Epica. Now there's no possible chance you could ever consider them two bands that you'd think, oh, you watch Cryptopsy one night, Epica the next night. But for my birthday this year, Mrs Beast bought me the Epica DVD, new album, whatever it was called, and we sat and watched it and really enjoyed it. And I just, yeah, why not, we'll go and see them live, see if it's the same, something a bit different. So we then have Sango Sugarbog in Manchester, Black Braid also in Manchester, and then the two festivals, Dead of Winter Festival, the third one, tickets on sale now, £35, 14 bands, Friday night, all day Saturday, absolutely cracking experience, and it's just get yourself a ticket and just get up there because it's going to be a great night. There's loads of the VC go now. It's a bit of a sort of a homage to let's all bang together and go up to Scotland. And then myself and Johnny Mac are going to Fortress Festival in Scarborough next year. Hopefully there'll be a few more of the VC members decide to go, but if not, hey ho. We had a really good time this year, saw some amazing bands, so hopefully it'll be the same next year. So, question 4. What are the videos and other channels you love to watch on YouTube? Like, I'm assuming it means like non-metal related or non-music related. I'm a big fan of watching, there's a channel called DR Sports, which is sort of a football related channel, and it has a fan, a Chelsea fan, an Arsenal fan, Liverpool, Tottenham, United, and these just sort of, they basically just rip each other to bits, but it's done quite, you know, it's quite friendly. There's obviously a banter, and you know, if a team's been beaten, the other guys absolutely slaughter him and stuff. But they do actually change their, you know, it's not the same people all the time, but it's really it's a really good laugh. Another channel I really enjoy watching is a young lady called Anda Kent, and she is a voracious reader, and she reads loads and loads of horror books. Now, she did a video a while back, and it was something, I can't remember the exact title of the video, but it was on about books that she read so we didn't have to, because they were like, you know, extreme horror, the sort of splatterpunk, really gory things. So I actually, after watching that video, one of the books that she showed was this one, The Clown Hunt by Judith Sonnet. Now, I will say these next couple of books, they are extremely gory, and there is no, there's nothing nice about any of these stories. They're really well written, but they are extreme. Like I say, they're brutal. There's no subject is taboo. You know, anything that you can think of where people end up spending a long time in prison for, or get the death sentence, they're sort of spoke about in these books. Clown Hunt was the first one. Again, another Judith Sonnet one, The Beast of Burden. This is about a heavy metal band and a guy who sort of sells his soul type thing. That's a good read, that one. No One Rides for Free is probably the most horrific of the three of them. Yeah, but I like on the back it says, to avoid dying of shock, keep repeating, it's only a book, it's only a book, it's only a book. This is sick and twisted. And a lot of people would probably say, well, if it's that bad, why do you read it? And I think it's morbid curiosity as to what people can get away with. So in a similar vein, there's a gentleman called Matt Shaw who has released Rotting Dead Fucks, zombie, a slightly different take on a zombie apocalypse type thing. but really clever and really gory. And one called Haw, which again, I like the fact that it says, this is an extreme horror novel. It's not intended for those who are easily shocked or offended. The cover is censored, the content isn't. So yeah, just a couple of people who I've become aware of due to watching different YouTube channels. And the last one I want to mention is a young lady called Eleanor Grace. She's an artist, but she struggles with her mental health, so she does a lot of travelling around in a Land Rover and like a Range Rover, sorry, sleeping like wild camping and stuff like that. And it's interesting to see how she uses nature not only to inspire her artwork, but also to help clear her head, help her get on top of things, help her put things into perspective in her life and stuff. Yeah, really interesting lady, and she does some really good content as well. So that was question 4. Question 5: if you could pick your favourite release from any genre of metal or another genre of music, what would they be and why? So I thought I'd go a little bit out there with these two for a change. Well, not too out there. Jason over at Black Leather Eyes showed an album quite some time ago now by the band Coven, and it was called Witchcraft. Destroys minds and reaps souls. So I listened to it digitally, really enjoyed the whole like that 60s 70s vibe, sort of a little bit schizophrenic, a little bit paranoid inducing. Anyway, so I managed to find a copy, but rather than just, because I'm collector's school and I've never shown this yet, I managed to find the box set. So this is Coven and Half a Century of Witchcraft, and it's basically everything they've released. Oh, that was the box opening, not me by the way. So inside it we get a really solid book all about them, you know, and the controversies and such like. But the album in question that Jason first showed, and my favourite by the band, is this one here. You say it's called Witchcraft, Destroys Minds and Reaps Souls. Track 13 is actually a Black Mass sort of rendition, sorry, and it's very much tongue-in-cheek when you listen to it now, but I can imagine back in the days that there would have been outrage, the church would have been, you know, knocking on the door and such like, and they carry it off really well. The songs are all, like I said, got like that that old school vibe with you know, full of witchcraft and satanic worship and devil worship and you know, but absolutely cracking album. And it's one out, to be fair, out of this box set, this is the one that I play the most. Great band. I believe that they're still going, but I don't know in what type of capacity now, but absolute cracking album. And just something a little bit, you know, not my normal murder, death, kill stuff. And the next one I wanted to show is by the band Sabbat, and the album is History of a Time to Come. Now, when I first heard the album, it just blew me away. I was thinking, everything about it is magical. It's spot on. It's, you know, it's sort of big boy thrash metal. You know, it's not Slayer, it's not Anthrax, it's not Metallica. There's something about it that's more expressive and stuff. So I thought I'd show again, because I've never shown it. This is the Sabbat box set, Mad Gods and Englishmen, which opens like a clamshell. I do actually have the OG press of the album, but I thought I'd show this one for a change. yeah, it's just, this is an album that never ever gets boring. It never tires me, you know. It's just an easy listen, but also a really enjoyable listen. I've seen quite a few people say that Dreamweaver is a bit long-winded, and I can sort of see where they're coming from, but I still think that's a cracking album as well. So yeah, just two of my favourites, obviously the Coven one, and then History of a Time to Come by Sabbath. So, question 6, besides listening to metal, what are other things you're passionate about? Well, unfortunately for my sins, I'm a massive Liverpool fan. So I saw a gentleman when I was only a really young kid. I was probably 4, something like that, and it'll have been on some probably black and white match of the day type programme, and a gentleman called Tommy Smith absolutely smashed the tatey out of someone with a tackle. Straight away I was like, yeah, that's where I want to, that's what type of footballer I want to be. None of this technical skills and flick ups and shit like that, just get into him, and that's where the nickname The Beast came from. So yeah, so a massive Liverpool fan. As I've said earlier on, big fan of books and reading. Currently reading that one that was suggested by my friend Laura, who is, I wish she had a YouTube channel, because she does all her reviews on TikTok and then puts them onto Facebook. But this has been really good so far. I only just started yesterday, so. And then, just because it's a metal adjacent type thing, and Ryan and Laura are actually a couple, so I thought I'd show that one as well. Cracking read this. I read this twice since I got it. Great stuff. Also a big fan of horror movies, so I thought it's a little bit different, show this, the Flesh and Blood Show box set. This is all the, Pete Walker was a director he sort of ended up doing a lot of like sex comedy type things as they were back in the day, but this is his horror collection. Some absolute belting films in here. House of Whipcord, House of Immortal Sins, Schizo, Flesh and Blood Show, The Comeback, all really good. Old school, creepy, not necessarily jump scare type horror, but quite sadistic at times, and absolutely cracking box set. And then finally, just as something else I'm a mad fan of, is I've always been a fan of graphic novels. Now, I've just watched Johnny Mac's video of this, for Jake, sorry, and he showed this one, so I thought I'd show my copy as well. This is The Batman and Damned. Massive Batman fan. I actually got the signed by, I think it was one of the artists that signed it. It came with it, so you know. But yeah, great story, and a great piece of artwork. And one of my favourite graphic novels I picked up recently, well, maybe a year ago, is Moorhead. There's quite a lot of these metal ones out, and there's some really good ones as well. So it's basically the story of, loosely, of Moorhead with Lemmy and the Boys, but in graphic novel format. So, last and not least, question 7. How did you find out about my channel, and is there anyone in the VC you would like me to collaborate with? Now obviously that's Jake asking that question, not me. I think the YT algorithm put you down as a suggested watch. I can't remember which video it was actually. And then obviously getting to meet you in January at Glasgow and chatting, that's when I took even more interest in your channel. As for collaborating with, I really enjoy watching what you do now. So anybody you wanted to collaborate with, I think it'd be it'd be an interesting view. Maybe some of the guys out of your band, and maybe do something with them if you haven't already done it. But yeah, so that's it. Which is, like I say, it's just a quick entry for as a support and congratulations to Jake for surpassing 800 subscribers. Hopefully it's been alright for you, Jake. Again, for me, the metal community is all about supporting each other, sharing stuff, having a laugh, not taking things too seriously. So we'll end that one there. Got a busy week, well, busy few weeks actually, but started finally getting the music room underway, which has already thrown up a few curveballs, but hey ho, such is life. So yeah, so if you stuck it out this long, thanks very much for watching. If it's the first time you've ever watched me waffle on and chat shit, thanks again. Maybe consider subscribing and jump down in the comments. And all them other things that YouTube say you should say to make your channel more exciting and elaborate, and yeah, all that lot. So as always, look after one another, enjoy whatever music you're listening to, whatever genre of music you're listening to, and until next time, cheers.